Wage growth has failed to keep pace with productivity for decades, and labor market discrimination continues to crowd specific groups into lower-paying roles. The result is an economy where the weights are piled on one side, while the other is pinned to the floor. These systemic divides can feel impossible to shift from a local level, but we can bridge that distance by building an economic fairness advocacy toolkit. Open a digital document or grab a notepad. We are going to draft a 4-step pitch you can use to advocate for specific reforms in your own community. Understanding economic theory is a starting point, but only creates change when translated into localized lobbying. This checklist will be your framework for action. The first item for your toolkit is a demand to modernize the minimum wage. This graph shows the federal minimum wage. Since 2009, it hasn't moved from $7.25. Meanwhile, housing costs moved in the opposite direction. This red line spikes, showing a full-time worker earning minimum wage cannot afford a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in the country. Models suggest raising the wage to at least $12 and indexing it to inflation would lift millions of families above the poverty line. Indexing ensures that as the cost of living rises, the wage adjusts automatically. This prevents the wage from eroding over time, reducing the need for predatory debt, and ensuring that a full-time job consistently covers basic survival. The second toolkit item focuses on local tax reform, ending consumption taxes on basic necessities. Unlike income taxes, sales taxes are regressive. They take a much larger percentage of a low-income household's earnings, because those families must spend almost everything they make on immediate survival. Policy experts argue that taxing the things people need to live creates a direct financial penalty for being poor. Currently, 13 states still charge sales tax on groceries, and many more tax essential items like diapers and menstrual products. To localize your pitch, look up your specific state's laws. Identify which necessities are still being taxed at the register in your town. Removing these local taxes provides an immediate boost to a family's purchasing power, keeping more cash available for other essential costs. The third toolkit item addresses safety net stability, advocating for a guaranteed income floor. Many current assistance programs have asset limits. For example, a family might lose their food assistance if they save just $3,000 for an emergency. This effectively penalizes the act of saving. An income floor or a refundable tax credit provides predictable funds without these restrictive asset traps. This allows families to build emergency savings without the fear of losing their basic support. We saw the impact of this during the 2021 child tax credit expansion. By providing predictable, refundable support, the U.S. cut child poverty nearly in half in a single year. Your pitch here is centered on stability. When funds are predictable and saving isn't penalized, families can weather economic shocks without going into debt. This transforms the safety net from a temporary fix into a stable foundation that allows households to focus on long-term financial health. The final item for your toolkit is the implementation of universal free tax filing. The federal government already has the withholding data from your employer, yet the current system requires you to navigate complex forms or pay for third-party software to file. This complexity is a barrier. Only 4% of eligible taxpayers manage to use the government's existing free file partnerships, resulting in low-income families losing millions to preparation fees every year. Your toolkit demand is for the permanent expansion of the IRS Direct File program. This would allow citizens to file their taxes directly and for free through a simple automated interface. Streamlining this process returns hundreds of dollars and hours of time to working families during the filing season. You now have a 4-point plan: wage modernization, ending grocery taxes, establishing an income floor, and securing free tax filing. These 4 steps translate broad economic concepts into specific demands regarding the daily costs of housing, food, and administrative services. Take this plan to your next city council meeting, email your state representative, or share it with a local advocacy group. Systemic change is often the result of citizens using concrete data to demand specific, local improvements in their own communities.